Amazing day to all. This is Teacher Dan Rogayan, and welcome to another episode of our Let Review Drill. This is part of our preparation for upcoming board exam for professional teachers for science majorship. So, welcome to our review drill number 15, and our review focus will be modern physics. All right. So, of course, let us all be reminded of our goal to pass and even top the board licensure examination for professional teachers. Our review focus for this episode will be physics with the sub-area modern physics. So we'll be covering two learning outcomes as stated in the 2022 Enhanced Table of Specification issued by the PRC Board for Professional Teachers. So these learning outcomes include characterize the basic features of modern physics, the Planck's quantum theory and Einstein's theory of relativity, and secondly, distinguish between classical physics and modern physics. I hope you are all ready and I hope you have your pen and paper with me. Samahan po ninyo ako sa pagsagot ng ating 10 items for this review drill. Okay? So I think everybody's ready. Item number 1. Which of the following is a fundamental concept in Planck's quantum theory? A. Energy is continuous and infinitely divisible or divisible. B. Energy is quantized and exists in discrete packets called quanta. C. Electrons orbit the nucleus in fixed circular paths. Or letter D. Light behaves only as a wave. Okay, so which of the following is the fundamental or rudiment concept in Planck's quantum theory? Okay, so what's your answer, future LPTs? When we talk about the fundamental concept in Planck's quantum theory, that's correct. Energy is quantized and exists in discrete packets called quanta. All right. So that is on Planck's quantum theory. Now, it revolutionized physics by introducing the concept that energy is not continuous but rather quantized. This means that energy is emitted or absorbed in discrete units called the quanta or photons in the case of light. So Max Planck formulated this idea to explain the black body radiation problem, which classical physics could not accurately describe. Okay? Item number 2, what is the main difference between classical physics and modern physics? A, classical physics focuses only on quantum mechanics, while modern physics studies relativity. B, classical physics is only theoretical, while modern physics is practical. C, classical physics describe macroscopic objects, while modern physics explains atomic and subatomic phenomena. Or letter D, classical physics ignores Newtonian mechanics, while modern physics is based on it. Right? So what's the demarcation line between the classical and the modern physics? So what's your answer? Future top-notchers? All right, of course, when we talk about the difference between the two, we're talking about letter, that's correct, letter C. Classical physics describes macroscopic objects, while modern physics explains atomic and subatomic phenomena. Right? So you can see here the classical and the modern physics. So classical primarily deals with the laws of motion, the Newtonian mechanics, electromagnetism, Maxwell equations, and thermodynamics, which accurately describe the behavior of everyday objects and large-scale systems. However, these laws fail to explain phenomena at extremely small scales like atoms and subatomic particles, or at very high speeds close to the speed of light. Hence, we have modern physics, which emerged to address these limitations and includes quantum mechanics, which explains the behavior of particles at the atomic level. So, and relativity as well, which describes the effects of motion at speeds approaching the speed of light. Moreover, this distinction is crucial because quantum mechanics introduced the concept of probability and uncertainty, while relativity showed that time and space are not absolute. All right, so that's classical versus modern physics. Okay, item number 3, who introduced the concept that light energy is emitted in discrete packets called quanta? A. Albert Einstein, C. Max Planck, C. Niels Bohr, D. Werner Heisenberg. All right, so who introduced these discrete packets called quanta? Of course, this is none other than Max Planck. So the answer here is letter B, Max Planck. So Albert Einstein explained the photoelectric effect using quanta of light. or photons, but not introduce the concept because it's Max Planck who proposed that energy is emitted in discrete packets called quanta to solve the blackbody radiation problem, forming the basis of the quantum theory. While Niels Bohr developed the Bohr model of the atom, incorporating the quantized electron orbits, while Werner Heisenberg is known for the uncertainty principle, which describes limits on measuring a particle's position and momentum simultaneously. Okay, item number 4. What does Einstein's theory of relativity primarily describe? A, the behavior of microscopic particles. B, the effects of gravitational force and planetary motion. C, the relationship between space, time, and motion at high speeds. Or letter D, the interactions between charged particles and electromagnetic fields. Okay, so what is Einstein's theory of relativity primarily described? All right, so what's your answer? So here, of course, the answer is letter C. The relationship between space, time, and motion at high speeds. Okay, so for the special relativity, 1905 describes how space and time are relative to the observer, particularly when objects move at speeds close to the speed of light. So the key ideas include the following. First, the speed of light is constant in all reference frames. Secondly, time dilation, moving clocks run slower. Thirdly, length contraction. Objects moving at high speeds appear shorter. And lastly, the mass energy equivalence expressed in the famous equation E is equal to mc squared. Okay, so that's for the special theory of relativity. So the general relativity in 1915 extends special relativity to include gravity, showing that massive objects curve space-time, which explains gravitational attraction and phenomena like black holes and gravitational waves. So this is naman in 1950. All right, item number 5. According to Einstein's special theory of relativity, what remains constant in all frames of reference? A, speed of light, B, time, C, mass, or letter D, energy. All right, so what's your answer? Science majors, future LPT top notchers. So when we talk about the special theory of relativity, what remains constant in all frames of reference is none other than the speed of light. Letter A is the answer. So Einstein's special theory of relativity states that the speed of light in a vacuum, 3 times 10 to the 8th power meters per second, is constant for all observers, regardless of their motion or the motion of the light source. So this is fundamental postulate of relativity and has been confirmed by numerous experiments. Okay, item number 6, in Planck's quantum theory, the energy of a photon is directly proportional to its blank. A, wavelength, B, frequency, C, speed, D, amplitude. So what is your answer? All right, so what's the answer here? The energy of a photon is directly proportional to its, that's correct, to its frequency. Letter B is the correct answer. So for frequency, Planck's equation E is equal to hv shows that energy is directly proportional to frequency, or V, meaning higher frequency results in higher photon energy. Okay, while wavelength energy is inversely proportional to wavelength, meaning shorter wavelengths correspond to higher energy. While the speed of light, or letter C, is constant in a vacuum and does not determine a photon's energy, while amplitude affects the intensity or brightness of light. All right, so the answer here is frequency. Okay. Item number 7. Which of the following best explains time dilation in Einstein's theory of relativity? A, time slows down for an observing moving at speeds close to the speed of light. B, time speeds up as an object moves at high velocity. C, time remains the same for all observers regardless of speed. Or letter D, time stops completely at high velocities. Okay, so what explains best time dilation? So what's your answer? All right, so for this, of course, that is letter A. Time slows down for an observer moving at speeds close to the speed of light. So letter A is the correct answer. So time dilation is a key prediction of Einstein's special theory of relativity. It states that time moves more slowly for an observer traveling at speeds close to the speed of light compared to a stationary observer. This effect has been experimentally verified with fast-moving particles and precise atomic clocks on spacecraft. Okay? Item number 8. Planck's constant is a fundamental physical constant with a value approximately equal to blank. A, 3 times 10 to the 8th power meters per second. B, 6.63 times 10 to the negative 34. Okay. Joule second. C, 9.81 meters per second squared. Or letter D, 1.60 times 10 to the negative raised to the negative 19 coulomb. Okay. So what is Planck's constant approximately equal to? So what's your answer here? Of course, that's correct. Letter B, 6.63 times 10 raised to negative 34 joule second. So that is our Planck's constant, which defines the relationship between energy and frequency in quantum mechanics. While 3 times 10 raised to the 8 meters per second is speed of light in a vacuum. 9.81 meters per second squared is the acceleration due to gravity on Earth, and 1.60 times 10 raised to the negative 19 coulomb is the elementary charge, the charge of a single proton or electron. Okay? All right. Item number 9. According to quantum mechanics, what dual nature does light exhibit? A, solid and liquid. B, particle and wave. C, gas and plasma. D, magnetic and electric. All right. So what dual nature does light exhibit? Of course, in the context of quantum mechanics, this is particle and wave. Letter B is the correct answer, particle and wave. So according to quantum mechanics, light exhibits wave-particle duality, meaning it behaves both as a wave and as a particle photon depending on the experiment. So wave behavior, light exhibits properties such as interference and diffraction as seen in Young's double slit experiment. While particle behavior is when light can transfer in discrete packets the photons, as demonstrated in the photoelectric effect explained by Einstein. All right, so that's light exhibiting wave-particle duality. Item number 10, last number. Which of the following statements about modern physics is true? A, it completely replaces classical physics, making it obsolete. B, it is only applicable to objects traveling near the speed of sound. C, it does not require mathematical equations for explanation. Or letter D, it is necessary to understand phenomena at atomic and subatomic levels. All right, so which of the following about modern physics is true? Okay, so what is your answer, future top-notchers? Okay, of course, no. Modern physics is, it is necessary to understand phenomena at atomic and subatomic level. So letter D is the correct answer. So remember that modern physics includes quantum mechanics and relativity, which explain phenomena that classical physics cannot, particularly at atomic, subatomic, and high-speed scale. So it describes the wave-particle duality, uncertainty, relativity effects, and quantization of energy, all of which are crucial for understanding microscopic particles and cosmic events. Okay, so that ends our 10-item drill for modern physics as part of our preparation for our science majorship come March 2025 licensure examination for professional teachers. Laban, papasa tayo patuloy lang. And hopefully we'll be able to cover everything pa as I upload the next test drills for our science majorship. We actually did cover every area already based on the different drills that we had. But we'll go back, no? Maybe I could give you a mix of different areas, or maybe I would replicate, no, some areas which are, I think, are very crucial in your science majorship. Again, I appreciate all your comments. I'm reading them one by one. Thank you very much. That motivates me even more to to provide time, to make time to prepare and record and upload more videos. So wag po kayong magsasawang mag-abang ng ating mga review videos until the board exam, and hopefully you also do your part, no, in checking, no, what are the um sub areas pa that you need to cover, and you need to focus on more as you prepare for your science majorship. Okay, so we're praying also that PRC would be very kind to us this March 2025. So yun po, yun lang, laban lang, and till our next video. Maraming salamat po.